So today I'm here to do the end of the year book tag. I'm sorry if the light's a little weird. It looks shiny. But if the other setup I was like really washed out, and so this is about as good as it gets at this time of day until I get a ring light, hoping for one for my birthday or the holidays, which all happen at the same time, so you know. Anyway, end of the year book tag. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking at the questions. Book you've started that you need to finish. We all know. I've got a stack of them, so hang on. So I started The End of the Fan, which is a reread. I also started The Ones in Future King, also a reread. I have started The Japanese Mind, which is like a collection of essays, cultural essays by Japanese students trying to explain certain of their very specific concepts to them. And so I've been reading that. I just started this one too, Really Enough by Margaret Zhao. And sorry, my ear itches. Okay. This is for a book club. My book club doesn't normally assign reading. We usually just all read what we want and then meet and talk about whatever we've read and whether we'd recommend it. It's more like book report kind of thing. But it's nice because it's really relaxed and laid back. But this author is actually going to be visiting our book club, so for once we actually all should at least read the book. We don't have to, obviously. You can't make people do that, but just, you know, I feel like it would be rude not to have read at least some of it, so I just started that one. I'm actually almost finished finally with 88 Names by Matt Ruff. This will be my next book review on my channel, probably in the next few days. And then, you know it's coming. Started it at the beginning of the year. Still only about 50% of the way through. This is the one book that I do hope to finish in the next, you know, before the end of the year, in the next couple months, right? That's the one that hopefully I don't carry into 2022 with me. All right, so then the next question is there, you have a autumnal transition book, like something that you transition into autumn with. Well, I read If We Were Villains, and you can go watch that review, which I considered like my transitional book. Like, it was like, oh, it's fall, I'm gonna pick this up. It feels like a fall read, and I think it was the right choice. But right now I am just also really focused on trying to finish some of these books that I've started and not finished yet. A new release you're still waiting for? No? I mean, the only things I'm waiting on are the next volumes of manga that I read. I think the next Takane Hana is out in December, and I don't know when the next Black Butler is coming out. I need to look that up. There won't be another Cardcaptor Sakura till next year sometime, almost certainly, like probably spring, because they just had volume 10 come out. And I don't even know if there's any more Nozaki-kun. Those are the 4 that I'm currently reading, the 4 series that I'm currently reading that I'm waiting for books or, you know, volumes on. As for books, there's nothing on my radar right now that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this book to come out. So, 3 books you want to read before the end of the year. The ones that I'm currently working on, basically. I'm gonna finish 88 Names. I want to read this one, at least most of it, before our next book club meeting in a couple weeks. And I definitely want to finish A Conjuring of Light. So those are probably the 3 right now that are my priority. A book that could surprise you and become your favorite of the year. I'd be really surprised if A Conjuring of Light became my favorite of the year after all this, but who knows? maybe the second half of it is so astounding that I'm like, I can't believe I put this off for this long. Why didn't I just read this? Like, you know, I don't know. That would be, I guess that would be the one big surprise. I don't think 88 Names is going to be like my favorite book of the year or anything like that. It is really good. The first half was slow, but it's gotten much better in the second half. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be my favorite of the year, but who knows? I need to go back through my list of books for the year and figure out. So far, I think Clara and the Sun has been my favorite, though. And finally, reading plans for next year. My husband bought me this beautiful, if you go watch my TikTok, I did a whole thing on it, but he bought me this beautiful book journal. It was a gift for my Gomp release gift, you know. And so for 2022, I'm just super excited to use this new book journal because I usually just use Goodreads to track all my reading and an Excel spreadsheet. But I'm like super excited to have this book journal that is just gorgeous. It came from Stella Bookish Gifts on Etsy. This is not, you know, sponsored or anything, but I'm just saying it's gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm super excited for it, but I don't have any like concrete plans on what to read or anything like that. I just usually set a Goodreads challenge every year. I try to read, I always start small, and I explained this in my challenge video, but I always start small because I'm never sure what my schedule is going to look like between writing and all my kids' various activities. I just never know. So I usually start with the hopes of 24 books in a year, and then if I looks like I'm gonna blow past that, I move it up to 52, which would be a book a week, you know, on average. And then if it looks like I'm gonna beat that, I might push it up a little bit more. But like, I just made the goal of 60 for this year, and so I'll probably only have 1 or 2 more books beyond that. So I doubt I would set it any higher than what I did this year. Most of those were manga because I can read those really quickly. So as far as like books, I mean, I consider manga still reading, but some people are like, no, what about real books? You know, it is probably closer to 1 or 2 a month on average. And you know, this year I had a huge book launch that I was doing, and I am still working on another, you know, book that I hope to finish by next year so I can get it out relatively quickly. I'm not a fast writer, so it's, you know, it's tricky for me. I'm not a fast writer, and I've got a lot of other things going on, so that slows me down even more. So, you know. Anyway, that is my end of the year book tag. Relatively short and sweet. And if you think there are books that I should be reading, or, you know, you have comments about any of this stack that I'm trying to get through, let me know. Oh, and there is one other book somebody told me to read. This one, they said, hey, look, you know, if you want House in the Cerulean Sea, but better, or, you know, this one was written several years ago, Jasper Fforde. If you know the Thursday Next books, this is a series. This is the first in a series that sounds similar to House in the Cerulean Sea, so maybe pick this up. This one was recommended to me, and so it is on my list. I guess this is my next read after I finish some of these, so maybe that's my next concrete reading plan. Anyway, that's it for me, and I will see you, well, probably when I have 88 names done and I've got a review ready for that.